Hello, my beautiful people. I know it's still we still are in the crisis of Corona, but for some of you that don't have to work like me, and don't have to study like me, and are all day at home and don't know what to do, and I don't know, need to watch some anime or want to watch some anime that are kind of related to pandemics, to viruses, to lockdowns, and I don't know what, I created that list. But before we get more into it, I wanted to say that I actually saw Misty Chronexia's video that was about pandemic-like animes. I saw the title and was like, yes, I really need to make a video like that. Then I made a list of animes I wanted to add to that list, and then I actually watched his video. Well, it seems like we had 2 or 3 of that were the same. But other than that, we have completely different ones in there. He also has some zombie apocalypse ones in his list. I didn't add anything with zombies, but to be honest, I tend to not like zombie themed animes, movies, or whatever, even like real life stuff, not too much. So I didn't even think of that, to be honest. But go check out his video, of course. Like, he has some animes and some movies I didn't know at all, so you might not either. But here's some that I know and I thought of myself. So I want to start with the very first, and I'm so happy I could finally put it into a video, which would be Black Bullet. It's also the first anime I came up with when I saw the title. Like, I was like, Black Bullet, it has to be Black Bullet. Fun fact, Black Bullet was taking place in 2021. Okay, like, if that isn't like some kind of that's fate, you know. So the anime is actually older. It's from 2012 or so, or even older. I think 2012. And yeah, it was taking place in 2021, where a virus called Gastrea actually started infecting people, so they would turn themselves into those beasts, into those moth-like creatures, and women who got pregnant during that time would all bring and got infected actually in some way. They would be all girls, like the children would always be girls with red eyes, or the color actually changes, but when they fight they become red, and they have some superhuman superhuman strength and everything, and they actually are used to fight against those remaining Gastrea. So it first of all is a virus anime, and second of all it's a lockdown anime, because the only area where everyone is safe, humankind is safe, is around the monolith area, and everything else is too dangerous because the Gastreas are there to get you. So next one would be Rasaphon, and I'm so happy I could finally squeeze that anime into something. Like, honestly, Rasaphon is an anime I watched back in 2012, I think, and it's actually a 2002 anime. Like, it's really old, and it actually seemed to have played on the channel on television that I would watch all the time, where I would watch all my animes, but apparently I didn't know that one, and I was very shocked. So, the story actually plays in 2012, which is the time I actually watched it. I thought that was funny when I actually read again through the summary, because of course I didn't remember all details of that anime since I watched it so many years ago. It plays in 2012 Japan, where humanity was invaded by Mu. Mu is actually, you know, Atlantis. Actually, the continent of Mu is something very similar. After that anime, I actually researched it. It's a continent of Mu, and it's a similar story like with Atlantic. Like, I'm not gonna tell you that because it has nothing to do with the whole video, but yeah. Those people from Mu, they are considered aliens, by the way, and have blue blood. So, after that first invade, in 2015, the invaders were repelled by the help of dolems. They are actually Dolems are actually, they're not mechanical exactly, but they're humanoid-like thingies that human beings control. And it has to do a lot with not exactly music, but like sounds and melodies, the way you control them and the way they fight as well. It's very interesting. It had an interesting concept, honestly. And Tokyo had been sealed into a time rift area where the time would pass in 1/3 of the normal time outside of that area of Tokyo. That was sealed into that couple thingy, into that time rift. So people who would get out of it actually were much younger still than the people outside of it, you know, especially after like 3 years. So what the anime basically is about fighting those invaders with the dolems, and also the main character. There is a secret about him, and also like the female main character seems to know a bit more, but it remains a mystery all throughout the anime, so that keeps it very interesting. I also really like the end of it, and I actually have the end scene, the last 10 minutes of that last episode, still on my phone after so many years. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed it, although I feel like some things might not add up 100%, but it's still a really good anime. Then we have Parasite, Kiseiju, as some of you might know it. Well, parasitic aliens came to Earth and tried invading human brains. They tried to take over their host completely when they got into into their brain, and almost extincted humanity. So when they get into the brains of the host, they have full control of them. What happened is a 16-year-old high school student got infected with those aliens, but that alien actually didn't make it into his brain, but stopped at his hand, and so they gotta make do. Like that parasitic alien thing needs his host to stay alive, and in order to do that, like they have to coexist somehow, which isn't always easy. Like imagine being a 16-year high school student having an ugly alien inside your hand. I mean, great, right? Then we have Attack on Titan. I feel like I don't have to say too much about this, but why I added it into that list is because I feel it is definitely a lockdown anime. I mean, after those titans appeared and humankind was almost completely extincted, all remaining people were gathered inside those 3 enormous gigantic walls to seek refuge against those huge and man-eating titans. So definitely, like, I'm not gonna say anything more, like most people will know it anyway, so yeah. Then we have Guilty Crown. I know it's kind of old, but it's still good, and honestly, I think Guilty Crown was always all over the place somehow. In Guilty Crown, there was the outbreak of a virus with fatal consequences for human beings, and actually Guilty Crown takes place after the outbreak of that virus. And there's not too much to say. It's again a girl and a boy having some nice moments, and the ending is, it's not bad. It's not exactly a happy end. That's the only thing I can say. I don't want to say anything more about that anime, but not that it's bad. Not at all. Not at all. Then we have God Eater. God Eater takes place in 2071. Humanity again has been pushed to the brink of extinction by those monsters called Aragami, which so much reminds me of origami. I don't know, but they are Aragami. They can't be defeated with any other way. So in order to fight them, there is an organization called Fenrir that was created and uses God Eaters to actually slay those beasts and, you know, just kill them. You know, I don't feel like I have to say anything more. Again, a lot of monsters that came up. Humanity almost extincted. I think it fits in so well here in that list. Then we have World End. I mean, the title is much bigger. It is, what would you do if the world end? Would you save us? Like, it's huge. I don't even remember one part of it. Like, I don't even know if I said it correctly, but it's super huge. And I'm not even gonna try in Japanese, especially not with my phone, because my phone is recording there. And if I can't read it, I definitely can't remember that huge of a name. So World End is actually a 2017 anime. Terrifying creatures called beasts. What a fascinating name. They really thought long about how to name them. So those beasts threaten humanity, and actually all mankind got extinct except one human person that was trapped into ice and awakes after 500 years. 500 years, gosh. Just imagine the world after 500 years. Like, I mean, it changes so fast after 20. So, and he has to live with creatures that actually aren't exactly human. They look very human-like. They talk, they seem like humans, they behave like humans, but actually they just have the soul of human children, and they need the soul of dead human children because there are specific weapons that are the only way to fight those beasts that can only be wielded by human beings, or something with the soul of a human being actually. So they took the souls of those children. They also have a hard time controlling themselves sometimes, and not going completely nuts because the soul of the child they took can sometimes take over their memories and everything else. But yeah, I'm not gonna say anything more. But again, like, humanity almost extincted, beasts that have to be fought. You know, it fits in well in here, I guess. Then we have Chrome-shelled Regios. Well, Chrome-shelled Regios is one of those anime I stumbled upon it on the internet a whole lot. I haven't watched it yet. I didn't feel like I want to watch it, to be honest. Even from the scenes and the fighting scenes I've seen, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like I want to watch it. It might be a great anime though. As I said, I haven't watched it, but I know what it is about. I have seen a lot of scenes. It's a post-apocalyptic anime. Like, the apocalypse took place and now the world is like a human wasteland, kind of. There are a lot of towns that remain but can't properly communicate with each other, and they can't know the exact location of the towns that had survived. What happens though is that in every town, or in that town that we are watching, they raise the children as the youth of tomorrow, and since military plays a big role in, they train those children to be able to fight in order for humanity to be able to keep surviving. So next one, it's Darling in the Franxx, or Franxx X, like Franxx, whatever, Franxx. So yeah, but Darling in the Franxx is pretty new. Actually, it's wasn't it 2019? Was it last year? So the Franxx are actually mechanical thingies that you fight with that are most of the time controlled by a girl and a boy. They always have girl-boy pairs because otherwise it wouldn't be interesting, right? It makes so much sense to do that. So what actually happens in the anime is humanity again was about to be extincted. This is kind of a very rare theme in that list. They were attacked by giant beasts called Klexosaurs. I mean, that name, I don't know why it irritates me, Klexosaurs. But they hid in fortress cities, like pretty similar to how Attack on Titan is. And children are trained to pilot those Franxx thingies to fight off those beasts. Then, let's go to the next one. I put in Carnival, but to be honest, I feel like it doesn't fit in 100%, but I wanted to put it in here, like, as a little special, kind of. There are those beasts called Varugas, which are monsters that devour humans for sustenance. Sustenance? It's a shoujo anime, and although it has some creepy scenes and those creepy creatures, I don't feel like it's I don't feel like it has a lot of, or too much of action, and the end of course was left open, and it had something similar to filler episodes, although it's just a 12 episode anime, so I don't know. Not that they weren't not that you waste your time and it's not enjoyable, and the art is amazing. I really love it. And another one that I actually wanted to add, but Misty Chronexia also had added that, and I feel like I didn't want to add too many of that, so I put it in as an extra, although I normally had it in that list, which is number 6, which is a Hunger Game-like anime. So I put it in because it's a lockdown one. And to be honest, it's most likely that you're gonna watch his anime and not mine, so I'm not gonna explain too much about it, but it's very hunger-like. And although the main protagonist lives in the rich area, he gets kind of demoted because he let another small child live with him that wasn't from that area, that was from the poor kind of district. And yes, after so many years, he tries to find that other guy again, and that's pretty much the story of it. So I hope all of you stay inside, stay safe, and watch anime and play games. So I really hope you enjoyed that list, and I gave you maybe 1 or 2 ideas what you want to watch, especially if you wanted something related to lockdowns and viruses. That's all my list. That's all I had to say, and I hope to see you again. Bye.